Let's get it. Watching 90 Day Fiance the other way, I gotta tell you that the situation between Johan and his wife Daniele is crazy as hell to me. There is one point where, for those not familiar, Daniele had approached the subject with her husband, Johan, about his insecurity in her having male friends. Now, on the surface, this seems like an issue that a lot of people suffer with and they go through. They say, I want to have male friends or I want to have female friends and my partner won't allow me to do it. And that is an insecurity that should be addressed, because without trust in a relationship, the relationship won't work. However, if you broach the subject of you going to hang out with your friends, or your friends are in town and you want to have a night out or evening out with them, and when you broach the subject, you come to me with a form of a lie, or even worse, a lie mixed with manipulation where you're trying to trick me into something, then anything you say from that point moving forward, I don't trust. If you come to me with a lie, everything you say after that is suspect. And you're sus as hell. So no, I'm not going to go along with the idea that you should go out with somebody who you felt that you needed to lie about. That's ridiculous. I'm not going to be in support of that. In this particular situation, how do we know that it was a lie? They went out for drinks to celebrate their 1 year anniversary of meeting. She starts in with, well, what do you think we can do to make the relationship better? How do you think we can improve upon this relationship? What are some things that I do wrong? And Johan looks at her and says, okay, well, I think we can improve communication, roughly. I come to you with certain situations or things come up, you get upset, you start screaming at me, yelling at me, you start crying, and you're unconsolable. I can't get things out. I need you to calm down. We can work things out together and we can be better with communication. Nothing wrong with that. That's an A+ answer. Okay, cool. She agrees with it, which is also a lie because she doesn't agree with it. She thinks that everything she says is right, everything he says is wrong. So when she agreed with it, he should have known something was up. But she went back and said, well, I'm going to tell you what I think you do wrong for me. You don't allow me to have male friends. What do you mean? You don't allow me to have female friends. This road goes both ways. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. I'll let you have female friends if you want some female friends. Then he says, okay, fine. You have female friends. I'll have male friends. Well, as it turns out, my friend is coming into town and he said he wanted to meet with us. To be honest with you, we're going to stop right there. You can't come to me and broach the subject as what are some things that are wrong with us, and then you turn around to I'm jealous, and then turn that around to, oh, here's some additional information. I'm going to go meet somebody. That's what you wanted to say from the beginning, so you should have just came and said that from the beginning. You should have said from the start. When you heard from him and he reached out to you, the friend, he reached out to you online and said, hey, I'd like to meet up with you. And you guys had the whole conversation. Your husband should have been aware of that conversation. And here's just a pro tip. You let people know that you're in a relationship with about these kinds of conversations first. What do I mean by that? When you have the conversation, you go home or you pick up the phone when you talk to them next, you tell them about your day, then that should be part of the breakdown of what happened during your day. If Johan later finds out that she's been sending text messages and email and she's been communicating with this guy behind his back, that's going to be a problem. Just like if Johan is communicating with females behind Danielle's back, that's going to be a problem. You can say all you want, well, you should trust me. Yeah, I should be able to trust you, because my expectation is if it was important enough for you to think that you had to come to me and talk to me about going out to dinner with this clown, that it would be important enough for you to come to me and tell me that you've been talking to him and that you guys have been having conversations. Danielle had brought up the idea that this gentleman had talked to her and they were going back and forth, or he hit her up and he didn't know that she was married. And she told him, oh, I'm married now and this is my husband. And then he had suggested, okay, well, maybe you should bring him out to dinner and I'll meet with the two of you and blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, when push comes down to shove, if he's such a good friend, how come he didn't know you were married? How come he didn't know your relationship status? If he's such a good friend. Look, every guy knows that if you have other guys and they want to meet with your lady, a guy will sit there and shake your hand. There are women out there who will come there and kiss your wife or your girlfriend in the face and then try to take you to the bathroom. So the whole idea that, because her ex-boyfriend wants to meet with Johan and have a dinner with him and share a meal with him, that somehow that completely absolves him from any possibility that he may want to have an affair with Danielle is ridiculous. Part of the reason why a lot of guys will come, if they come into town and they know they have a girl that they were used to sleep with in that town, and they don't want to look through Tinder or one of the other social media apps or go through the process of trying to get to know somebody. Hey, I already know somebody that I already hit up. I'll just hit them up and I'll go over there, we'll do our thing, and then I'll come on out. I'll make this a great vacation. That happens too. And the idea that just because she's married doesn't mean the dude doesn't plan on doing that thing. With that being said, maybe the guy is an innocent dude. Maybe he has perfect values and everything else. The way Danielle presented this whole situation was wrong. There's something wrong with it. She brought it to him as a lie. Because even the way she's presenting it, that there is a point where does this go? Okay, fine. We'll go out on the dinner. I'll sit there. I'm Johan. I'll go sit there with you and your ex-boyfriend and talk about what exactly? Do we talk about why y'all broke up, or what y'all used to do for fun, or what y'all used to do in the boudoir? Like, what are we talking about? We don't have nothing in common except for you. So the only thing we can talk about is you. I don't want to be his friend, right? And maybe that's just something that, people feel. I don't want to be his friend. I don't want to get to know him. I have no interest in getting to know him. Well, he's my friend. If he's such a good friend, how come he doesn't know nothing about your life? He's not a good friend. Aside from that, there's a big issue of respect. Throughout the time that they've been on 90 Day Other Way, throughout this season, there's been tremendous disrespect on her part towards Johan. She doesn't respect anything about him. Now, in this video, or this clip that we can watch, we'll see what she says initially, and then we'll cover up some other things that I think need to be addressed. Let's take a look at it.
He is unwilling to even sit down and have a conversation with my ex. I feel like that is really childish, and it's not the kind of relationship I want to have.
Now, the idea that she came in and said that the whole thing of him not wanting to sit down and have the meal with her ex-boyfriend, that's childish, and that's not the type of relationship you want to have. That's because she's 10 years his senior. She's 42, he's 32. So now all of a sudden she's going to try to pull the age game on him. Oh, it's because I'm so much older than you and I'm mature, and this is the way mature people hold relationships. No, mature people respect their relationships and they respect the people they're with. If your partner doesn't feel comfortable with something, then that should be taken into account. How important is your relationship with a guy who you didn't even know where he lived? I think he lived in Miami. Danielle lived in New York. Like, you guys didn't even live in the same town. How close were you for real? So I'm supposed to jeopardize or call into question my values and what I think is going on, especially when you come at me kind of sideways and it doesn't sound right? Then she brings up the idea of it being a cultural difference. This isn't a cultural difference. This is an American thing. Americans don't sit around and let their boyfriends or girlfriends go out with their exes, their husbands or their wives. Hey, you need to go have dinner with your ex. The person that you don't have any kids with, no ties to. Y'all just need to go out on dates. Yeah, that's cool, because we're old friends. And then there's a whole point too where she's not clear. Like I said, she's not clear whether they're boyfriend, girlfriend. At one point they lived together, but she tries to play the whole relationship down. Oh, we were never boyfriend and girlfriend. If you're going to lie about it, then I have questions about it, which goes to the whole thing where she tries to attack him with the idea of him being insecure. Oh, you're being insecure. No, I'm just not a dummy. And that calls into the question, or at least makes the bigger point where he says, everybody has a choice. You get to decide what you want to do and how you want to do it. I'm not going to tell you that you can't go out on a date with your ex, but understand, when you make a choice, that leaves me to make a choice. So because you chose to do A, B, C, now I get to choose between 1, 2, 3. Do I stay with you? Do I try to work things out, or do I leave? I always encourage people to do what they want to do. I don't restrict anybody's movement around me. because I want you to make your choices. I want you to make your decisions. And based on your decisions, that informs me of what kind of person you are. And if you're the type of person that I want to spend my time with, and if you're not the kind of person I want to spend my time with, then it is what it is. You don't have to be a terrible person for relationships to end and for you guys to decide that it's just not working out. If they're just not the type of person that you want to be with, that's enough. That's my take. I'm James. This has been my take on reality, and I'm out. 'Cause I've been living life